Now, we've shown you some stories about amazing flyers before, and there's another one coming up right now. Microlights are tiny little aircraft which are designed to buzz around short distances, well, for a bit of fun, really. But two microlight pilots have flown a staggering 2,250 miles across 9 different countries in 15 days.
The mission had a special and very poignant reason. There should have been another flyer on the journey, but a serious and fatal illness put pay to that. Her fellow pilots made sure she would never be forgotten, and here's how.
When young hang glider pilot Yasmin Saudi was diagnosed with lung cancer, friends Ben Ashman and Judy Ledden organised a charity flight to give her something positive to work for. Their aim was to raise money for cancer research. Sadly, Yasmin died before she could go on the flight, but the team decided to carry on and dedicate the epic journey to her.
I was very lost when Yasmin passed away, and I didn't know how people would take me on doing this, whether we carried on or whether we stopped. And that question I put to Yasmin, do we carry on with Flight for Life without you? It was the hardest question I've ever asked any other human being. And Yasmin said, yes, you do Flight for Life.
How did they set about making this incredible journey? By aiming to travel from the UK, where Yasmin learned to fly, to her home in Jordan.
Come to head climb.
Preparation for the flight was intense. Sponsorship had to be organised. They also had to get landing clearance from each of the 9 countries to be visited. Then they had to prepare the aircraft and plan exactly which supplies they could take with them. Each microlight would carry a pilot and a cameraman, so there wouldn't be much room left for extra baggage. It was hard to fit in all they needed to take. They had to repack 3 times.
The third time, we just cut everything down to absolute basics, and that's what we had. 1 change of underwear, 1 t-shirt, a comb and a toothbrush, and 1 tube of toothpaste between us.
In fact, despite careful preparation, when they finally took off from Blenheim Palace, the flyers still hadn't obtained all the necessary permits or official permission to land in Syria. Once they were over the English Channel, the adventure really began. Their journey carried on through France and Germany and moved further and further south. Their experience as pilots took them safely through all kinds of weather.
It's a really impressive sky today. We're going straight into...
But we're just going to go straight into,
Yeah.
It's absolutely incredible.
Sorry, I've lost a bit.
No, you're all right, you're okay.
Go straight through that gap, shall we? Corridor there.
Each microlight had limited fuel, which meant they had to land every 3 hours, whether it be at an airport or in the desert. Sometimes they carried spare fuel with them and landed on country roads. On other occasions, locals would give them enough juice to continue. Often they landed near petrol stations and refueled with 4-star.
Literally, the last bridge on the River Danube, Judy was the first to spot him, and she sort of said on the radio, bridge attack. God knows what bridge attack means, but that's women for you. And when I saw the bridge, I knew exactly what Judy meant. Okay, off we go and off we go.
Of course, there were dangerous moments.
The worst moment for me was in Turkey. We were flying through extremely big mountains. They were about 12,000 feet, and we flew down this really small valley. And as we were approaching, I still had to climb probably about 50 feet to clear this pass. And I just couldn't. I had my foot flat on the floor, full acceleration, and nothing was happening. So I was just crossing my fingers and hoping that I could just squeeze another 60 feet to clear the brow of this hill. And finally, so slowly, just gave me enough height to get over the top, but it was a really hairy moment.
There were also beautiful moments.
Oh, look at this! We flew out of Istanbul at dawn, and it was the most beautiful sight. We flew past the Blue Mosque, and all the tops of the mosque, the minarets, were glinting in the sunlight, and the Bosphorus was misty, and you could just see forever. It was absolutely beautiful.
Almost at the last stage, they hit a problem. The Syrians put obstacles in their path. They insisted that the microlights fly on a long, difficult route at an impossible speed and height. How did they overcome that? Well, Ben agreed to the terms, then promptly flew off under the Syrian radar, undetected. So they were able to fly on their own original course, dodging the radar and skimming the desert at a height of only 30 feet. They were on course for Jordan, Yasmin's home. It worked, and they were greeted in Jordan as heroes by King Hussein, himself a pilot and a previous cancer sufferer.
I felt she was with us and eased at some of the problems that we had for us, and I think she was with us in spirit.
Terrific pictures shot. Well, please meet the two cameramen responsible, Gavin Crowther and Sid Peru, with one of the microlights in question. Fantastic. It's a bit flimsy and it looks a bit uncomfortable, lads.
It's quite uncomfortable. It's okay for short periods, which is normally where people fly, but we were in it for maybe 6 hours a day, so it was very uncomfortable.
Now, you didn't take all the pictures with that camera over your shoulder, did you? Tell us about
well,
how
we had about 3 different cameras. Of course, we couldn't use normal big television cameras because there's no room for them. So we had these small camcorders, and we'd fit them on brackets like you see over there on the wing or in front here on the mount at the front and behind. And we also sometimes had one in our hand or one held out on a pole, filming ourselves. Put cameras everywhere we could fit cameras.
Yeah. Not all at the same time, of course. You used them at different occasions. And
yes, we changed them when we landed and so on.
And the sound, how did that all work?
Yeah, we also had the sound capability from the fact that everything was fed via one of these leads into a little communications box, which was held in a pocket at the side here.
Now, vitally important that one of these cameras didn't come off in mid-air, wasn't it? Because if it shoots through the prop, you've got a problem.
Yeah, you've got a bit of a problem there.
To say the least.
Well, anything that you drop, a lens comes off or you're changing tape, anything you drop goes straight back because of the wind, goes straight back through the prop. And if the prop goes, you're down fairly quickly. And sometimes finding a landing place in some of the places we were flying was pretty well impossible. So you had to be very careful everything you did.
You've got a little 2-stroke engine here. They're never the most reliable, it seems to me. What, if it conks out, how safe is it? Can you get down all right?
Yeah, if there's a suitable landing field underneath you, when you're actually flying, you're always looking down on the ground to see if there is anywhere that's suitable to land. It will glide like a hang glider, but it glides quite steeply in the sense that it's heavy, so it'll come down a lot quicker. So you always need somewhere to land. Unfortunately, in some of the terrain that we were in, quite a bit of the time there was absolutely nowhere to land, and we did start having a few little engine hiccups every now and again, so it got a little bit...
Have you a few hiccups too, I should think.
That's right.
Plus the aircraft was twice as heavy as it really should be.
That's right.
Finally, how much did you raise for the cancer charity?
Well, so far the Flight for Life has raised actually over £70,000 or $100,000 or whatever.
Well, you did a wonderful job, and you did it in a most artistic way. Thank you very much indeed.